Hey everyone, the day after the match before, I don't know about you, but my blood pressure is all over the place when I'm watching football these days. From a attacking perspective, it's got to be, fantastic to watch. Villa neutral, you're watching that, you're thinking, wow, this is brilliant football. There's some interpassing and movement that you just look at, you think, wow, these guys have really, they're really on the front foot, they're really pushing, they're really attacking the play and so on. And the swift interchange is just a joy to see. But added to that is the stress of watching us play out from the back. When it comes off, it looks fantastic. But when you're giving away sloppy passes left, right and centre, it basically raises your blood pressure so high. You're sitting there watching like this thinking, Jesus Christ, what's going to happen in this game? But from a neutral perspective, what a game that was again yesterday. I think it's interesting when you listen to the pundits and they talk about it and they go, that Tottenham are naive and you're going to get worked out. And also, I was watching it on IPTV and Lennon, Neil Lennon, was the pundit, and he was like, teams are starting to work Tottenham out now, and it can only go so far, and I'm like, you're writing Ange Postecoglou off like at your peril. In my mind, I'm like, that's not the case. This is a game against a really in-form side. Everton were like 5 games on the bounce or something, playing really, really well, surprisingly well for a Sean Dyche team that wouldn't lay down. They just wouldn't lay down. And they played their part in that game massively, absolutely massively. I think the first sort of 20 minutes, I thought we were brilliant. The interchange, like I say, the passing was fantastic. Richarlison getting another goal, absolute delight to see that with his feet as well. Great interchange in the middle there, the pass out to Johnson, who put in the best cross. I mean, just a joy to watch. And then again, Brennan Johnson involved in the short corner that pulled out the save from Pickford that led to the second. Again, great play. Good thinking, sharp passing, and so on. And up until that point, I thought we were really, really good. But it kind of just then felt like we lost our way, and we started giving the ball away so sloppily. Misplaced passes, cross-field passes to getting cut out, and so on. And I'm like, what are we doing? What if it's worked in the first 20 minutes to move the movement like that? You've got to keep going. You can't just switch it off and sit back and wait. And in the end, I'm watching it, I'm thinking, we're just holding on here. And I was desperate for the first half to end, just to get the team into the change room and get Postecoglou to throw a few into them to refocus on what they were doing, because it just felt like we were hanging on. And coming out in the second half, and Dyer was warming up, and I'm like, shit, who's coming off? What's happening here? And then when I saw it was Romero, I was like, oh my God, this is just, stress that I can't take. So you're looking at that team, and you got Skip and Højbjerg and Davis and Dyer in that team, and then you've got Emerson Royal playing out of position as a left back, and I'm like, this is a recipe for disaster. And I'm not slagging off those players. That's not me slagging off those players, because they saw it through and they've been professional all the way through. Even Eric Dyer, for all of the criticism he gets, he puts himself out there, behaves like a professional, gets on with it, doesn't feel sorry for himself, and put in a shift and got us over the line. Ultimately got us over the line. But to get that result in the end was actually a massive achievement, because I thought Everton were really unlucky. I thought some of their play was really, really good, and for the want of some quality in front of goal, could have been a different result. Could have been a different result. We got lucky with the foul on Royal. It was a foul, in my opinion. I don't think it wasn't a foul, in my opinion. He comes through him, he takes him out. But ultimately, why is Royal dilly-dallying on the ball like that in that position? That's just, a stupid thing to do. So we get lucky from that perspective. And then with the one right at the end, which comes off of Vicario's thigh, again, you've got to be in the right place to get that off the line. But that was so close. Before the game, I think, on the Irish Hotspur, I predicted a 2-2. When I was talking to an Everton podcast, I did predict a 2-1. So I'm actually quite glad that I predicted the 2-1. I didn't think we'd get away with a clean, a clean sheet. I just didn't see that coming up. I thought that Everton would work really, really hard to put us under pressure, and they did. Absolutely did. I guess Vicario got to be man of the match. A couple of brilliant saves that he made in that game, particularly the one that he tipped over. Amazing to get himself across and up like that. But yeah, wow, what a really stressful match to watch, and you just don't know what to say about it. But ultimately, 3 points might seem ugly, but I've been in a Tottenham fan long enough to know that there's games like that we would have lost. We'd have been ahead like that and give it away. So 3 wins on the trot. It keeps us in the hunt in and around the top 4, putting us in the top 4 now. With Villa dropping points, Arsenal and Liverpool dropping points. Okay, Man City have got to come back and so on. So it's going to be a battle, and I think the top 4 spot, if we're going to get a top 4 spot, is going to probably come at the expense of Villa, who are playing really, really well. And like I said, there's no easy teams to play. There's no easy teams to play in this, and people thinking we should just go out there and win every game because we're Tottenham and we're playing well and blah, blah. That's not going to happen. I just can't see it. I just hope, with Romero going off with his hamstring injury, I'm hoping that's not too serious. We've got to keep going. We've just got to keep playing. The suspensions, the international football, the injuries, it's mounting up and mounting up and mounting up. So we really do need that luck that we're getting. And I think we have had a little bit of luck, certainly during the course of this season. But then I think all teams are getting a little bit of luck here and there. And all teams are going through a bit of a rough patch with things like VAR and all the rest of it. But as I said, when it was going in our favour, when it goes against you, it goes against you. And you just have to dust yourself off and carry on, because it's going to balance itself out. Some's going to cost more than others, but it just is what it is. But yeah, ultimately, tough old game to watch. From a neutral point of view, I would have said it was really, really entertaining, end-to-end stuff. But I'm just grateful that we, got over the line. We've played well against West Ham. We played well against Villa and did get the points. I thought in patches we played well yesterday, but not enough. I think we sat back and we kind of let them get a foothold in the game. And once you do that, a team like Everton are not going to let you off the hook. They're fighting for their lives. And if it weren't for that 10-point deduction, they'd have been right up there. They've got some good results gone their way, and they've worked really hard at it. They've got that siege mentality, and I think that's really helping them. And fair play. I've got no issues with that. I didn't think it was a dirty game. I didn't think it was a bad game from that point of view at all. No real controversy in it. Possibly the foul, whether it was a foul or not, I thought it was, but then I would, because I'm a Tottenham fan. But apart from that, I thought, I'm just grateful that the game ended. We got the 3 points. We're within touching distance of the top spot, and we are still in the hunt for a top 4 finish. So, you never know what's going to happen, but good to get that win again and start building on that. January is going to be so important. So we'll just see what comes from that, and fingers crossed, only a week or so away now, and then we can start seeing what the intention is from the owner as to where we go from here. But yeah, difficult game as a Tottenham fan, but so happy with that result. And onwards and upwards, we keep the faith and we keep pushing on up the Spurs.